Imagine a simple, happy family in a quiet village whose life changes forever after discovering hidden gold. But this isn't just a story about treasure. It's about how greed, love, and sacrifice collide in unexpected ways. What would you choose, wealth or happiness? Now, let's dive into this story and see what happens when a family's life is tested by a surprising twist.
Once upon a time, in a peaceful village nestled by a flowing river, there lived a wise Brahmin named Vedan. He was known far and wide for his deep knowledge of scriptures and his peaceful nature. Vedan lived in a small, humble house with his wife Sumati and their two children, Aryan and Mira. They had little material wealth, but their hearts were full of love, kindness, and contentment. Vedan often told his children, "True wealth is not in gold or treasures, but in the knowledge we share and the love we give." One sunny morning, as Vedan walked through the village market, his eyes were drawn to a sparkling stall. A merchant was selling beautiful golden ornaments, necklaces, rings, and bracelets, all shining brightly in the sun. Vedan's heart skipped a beat. He had heard about these ornaments before, how they could change one's life, bring fortune, and make one powerful. The merchant, seeing the Brahmin's curiosity, quickly approached him with a smile. "Ah, the wise Brahmin himself," the merchant said, his voice full of charm. "You deserve these treasures not just for your wisdom, but for your kind heart. Imagine how happy your family will be with all this gold. A small investment and your life will change forever." Vedan was taken aback. He had never been one for material things, but the thought of giving his family a life of comfort and luxury made his mind race. He could already see Aryan and Mira playing with toys, wearing beautiful clothes, and living without worry. "What harm could there be?" he thought. "I'll buy the gold and return it later if it doesn't bring happiness." So, with a heavy heart, but an excited spirit, Vedan bought the gold ornaments. As he walked home, he couldn't help but imagine how his family would react. He pictured Sumati's smile and Aryan's eyes glowing with excitement. The thought of their happiness made his chest swell with pride. But little did he know, this decision would lead to unexpected consequences. When Vedan arrived home, he proudly presented the gold to Sumati and the children. Aryan's eyes sparkled as he ran his fingers over the shiny ornaments. "Look, Mama, look at all this gold," he exclaimed. Sumati, though hesitant, smiled and said, "It's beautiful, Vedan. But remember, we are happiest when we have what we need, not what we desire." But Vedan was too excited to listen. Over the next few days, strange things began to happen. Aryan, who had always been kind-hearted, became greedy. He argued with his sister Mira over who would wear the gold first. "It's mine," he would shout, pulling the necklaces away from her. Mira, who was once patient and loving, began to complain about everything. She didn't like the simple meals anymore and wanted fancy food like the rich people in the city. Vedan started noticing small changes in Sumati too. She seemed distant, lost in thought, and no longer smiled as she used to. The warmth that once filled their home began to fade, replaced by tension and discomfort. Vedan started to feel uneasy, as if the gold was slowly poisoning the happiness that had once filled their home. One evening, after a particularly heated argument between Aryan and Mira, Vedan sat quietly in his room, staring at the ornaments. He remembered the times when his family laughed together, when they shared simple meals and were content with what they had. The gold that had promised happiness was now causing nothing but pain. Vedan felt a knot in his stomach. He had made a mistake. The next morning, Vedan decided to go back to the merchant and return the gold. He couldn't let his family be consumed by greed. But just as he was about to leave, a voice stopped him. "Are you sure about this, Father?" Aryan asked, standing in the doorway with a confused look on his face. "Why are you going to return the gold? It has made us happy, hasn't it?" Vedan looked at his son, whose once innocent eyes were now filled with selfishness. He sighed deeply and said, "Aryan, the happiness you feel now is temporary. True happiness comes from love, peace, and simplicity. Gold can't buy those things. It's tearing our family apart." Aryan stood silently, his face filled with confusion and regret. Mira, who had overheard the conversation, walked in and said softly, "I miss how we were, Papa. I miss the way things used to be. The gold has changed us. I don't want it anymore." Sumati joined them, her eyes full of understanding. "Vedan, you were right all along. We were happy with little, but now we have so much and yet feel empty." With a heavy heart, Vedan took the gold ornaments and went to the merchant. The merchant greeted him with a smile, but Vedan said firmly, "I've come to return the gold. It has brought nothing but greed and unhappiness into my life. Keep your treasures." The merchant tried to persuade him, but Vedan shook his head, knowing deep inside that he was making the right choice. As he walked back home, he felt a weight lifting off his chest. The air felt fresher, the sun brighter, and his heart lighter. When he returned home, the family gathered together, and Vedan looked at them with love in his eyes. "We have made a mistake, but we have learned something valuable. True happiness isn't found in gold, but in the love and simplicity we share. Let's never forget that." From that day on, the family returned to their peaceful life. They spent more time together, laughed more, and cherished the little things. The love they shared became their greatest treasure, far more valuable than any gold. And Aryan, once greedy and selfish, began to understand the true meaning of happiness. So friends, this story reminds us all that wealth isn't measured by material possessions, but by the love we share with those closest to us. If you enjoyed this story and its lesson, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more inspirational stories that help you learn English and life values. Remember, true happiness lies in the heart, not in the hands. See you in the next video.